The Heisman Race and the Heisman Award is a complete joke at this point, and it's losing its integrity. I know I can't speak for you and everyone, but for me personally, it seems like every year I devalue the Heisman even more. Last year I gained some of my respect back because it did go to Devontae Smith. If he wouldn't have won it, it would have been rigged. That man was the best player by far. He was terrorizing defenses. But this year, it's flat out stupid, makes zero sense. We're going to talk all about it in today's video, and we're also going to make my picks for tomorrow's games. You guys have been loving the double uploads. I really appreciate that. I enjoy making them. We'll do another one. If you can get this video to 1,000 likes before 7 p.m. Central Time tonight, I'll double upload. I got another extremely interesting topic to get into tonight. You're not going to want to miss it. If you're new to the channel and you've been loving the content, or you've been watching and you're just not subscribed, feel free to go down there, hit that subscribe button. It's free, and you can always unsubscribe later. With all that being said, let's get into it. I will say, even though I think the award this year is a complete joke, and I'll touch on that in a second, the Heisman Race in general has been very entertaining. We're in the last week of college football before the playoffs, and nobody knows who's going to win, and it's not even narrowed down to 2 or 3 guys. There's 5, 6, or 7 guys that are up for it. I'm not just saying that to say it. You can literally make a case for each and every player. I would say the 7 guys it's narrowed down to is Bryce Young, CJ Stroud, Matt Corral, Kenny Pickett, Aiden Hutchinson, Kenneth Walker III, and Will Anderson. I know what some of you are sitting there thinking, yo Matt, why is this award a joke? I'm going to tell you right now. Aiden Hutchinson is in some people's top 2 and top 3, and they're not even throwing Will Anderson up there. I'm not mad about Aiden Hutchinson being ranked over Will Anderson. I'm mad that Will Anderson isn't getting the same amount of love when he's been the overall better player. If you don't want to believe me, let's look at the numbers. Anderson has 14.5 sacks this year. Hutchinson has 13. Will Anderson has 30.5 tackles for loss. Hutchinson only has 14.5, so he's doubled his numbers right there. And then total tackles, Anderson has 85, Hutchinson has 54. There is the argument of, oh, Alabama's defense as a unit, they've been terrible and it makes Anderson look worse. I'm telling you right now, if you take Will Anderson off of that team, they're arguably one of the worst in the SEC, maybe the entire country. Okay, that was a stretch, but you get the point. They'd be much worse without him. I understand I just read out those numbers to you, but I don't want you to pay attention to them. I just did that so you get a perspective. Whenever I evaluate these defensive players, I don't even pay attention to the numbers. I pay attention to their effect on each and every play. With Hutchinson for Michigan and Anderson for Alabama, throw the numbers out the way, watch them play. And what you will see out of these fine young men is that they're easily one of the best players in the country, both of them. If I had to choose one player to put on my defensive team, I would pick Anderson, but I wouldn't mind having Hutchinson either. I think they're 1A, 1B. There's not one better than the other. And that's why I'm mad. They should both be in the top 3 or 4 of the Heisman race. I don't care. But since defense isn't flashy and they do all the dirty work, they don't get the love they deserve and the respect they deserve. In the college football landscape, we've been so focused on Lincoln Riley, USC, LSU, Notre Dame. Like this tweet says right here, quote unquote, my biggest fear about the coaching carousel is people getting distracted from the fact Will Anderson is probably going to get screwed out of the Heisman. That's not coming from me. That's coming from another person, unbiased. Look, I get it. Some of you are going to say, yo, you're biased. You're an Alabama fan. But I'm probably the most unbiased Alabama fan you'll ever meet. I just keep it real. Will Anderson is the best player on the field at all times. It doesn't matter who's on the field with him. But like I've been saying and focusing on in this video, I'm not mad Will Anderson isn't getting the respect he deserves. I'm mad Aiden Hutchinson and Will Anderson aren't getting the respect they deserve. Why is it every single year a defensive player has to be a dark horse for the Heisman? Why can't they be the favorite when it's clear to see they're the best player in the country? The meaning of the Heisman, correct me if I'm wrong, is the best player in the country, right? Well, that's funny. It leads me into my next point perfectly. What about Matt Corral? You want to know something? I think Matt Corral is better than Bryce Young, and yes, that's right, I said it. I went in person and watched Matt Corral play Alabama at Alabama, and he played a good game. It's just Alabama was a better team. If you switch the roles and put Matt Corral on Alabama Alabama and Bryce Young on Ole Miss, who do you think would be the Heisman favorite? Matt Corral has done more with less, and I'll stand on that till the day I die. He's impressed me so much this year, and he's battled so many injuries. I don't want to take away from Bryce Young. He's done more than exceeded expectations. He's been amazing. However, I firmly believe Matt Corral is the best quarterback in the country, and he's done more with less. Taking a look at this stat right here, Corral has almost 4,000 total yards, which is well more than Bryce Young and CJ Stroud. I'm telling you, I watched this man play in person. I've watched a ton of their games. If you put him on Alabama, he'd be doing almost the exact same thing as Bryce Young, if not better. It's sad because once he lost to Alabama, if you notice, everybody quit talking about him for the Heisman. That's how it goes in 2021. If you lose a game, you're already behind in the Heisman race. Look at CJ Stroud. He was the Heisman favorite a week ago. He lost a game. He still played good, and he dropped behind Bryce Young. Another quarterback that gets no love whatsoever, he does from the fans but not from the overall media, and he's not going to win it, is Kenny Pickett from Pittsburgh. I'm not going to spend too much time talking about him. He's been phenomenal, but he hasn't played in a lot of big-time games. Getting back on topic with CJ Stroud, he's been great this year, all props to him, but I don't think he has a good chance of winning it. I'd say it's lower than 5 or 10%. Here's my reasoning behind that. Ohio State does not play this weekend, and all the other Heisman contenders do. Not only in college football, but everybody in life, there are recency bias. What does a recency bias mean? It means you just saw something and you think it's the best thing ever, when a week ago you saw something better, but since you just saw what happened, you're amazed by it. I feel like CJ Stroud is going to get lost in the shadows because he doesn't play this weekend, and the Heisman race is really down to 3 people in my opinion. Right now, I'd say it's down to Bryce Young, Aiden Hutchinson, and Will Anderson. The other player we've spent no time talking about in this video, I see everyone talking about he should win the Heisman, he should be up for it, is Kenneth Walker III. I'm going to be up front with you, he has no chance and no shot of winning the Heisman. Taking a look at this tweet right here, you got this person saying he has similar stats versus Mark Ingram, who won it in 2009, and Derrick Henry in 2015. Well, I'm going to offer you this. Mark Ingram, Derrick Henry, they played for Alabama, who were undefeated, or one team was at least, and they were also playing in the SEC. Michigan State is not the SEC. A running back in the SEC, and more particular Alabama, is going to get 10 times more love than a running back from Michigan State, and that's me being real. And may I remind you, who in the heck has Michigan State played this year outside of Michigan that's been impressive? Oh, that's right, they played Ohio State. I hate to inform you, but Heisman Trophy winners don't get beat 56-0 in the first half. In the biggest game of the year, he was held to 25 yards. Heisman Trophy winners, they don't let that happen. Kenneth Walker, you had a great year. You're not going to win the Heisman. I'm sorry. Saturday's going to tell a lot. Unless Bryce Young throws 2 interceptions and has a terrible game, I believe he's going to win the Heisman. On the other hand, for Aiden Hutchinson, he'd have to have 3 to 4 sacks to be up there and give it a close race. CJ Stroud is in second place right now, but like I was saying, he doesn't play this weekend, so he doesn't control his own destiny. It's going to be close. If I had to pick the best player in the country right now, it's Will Anderson. He's the best player, but for the Heisman, I would say Bryce is in first place. We all know it's an offensive award. That's why when they do these preseason Heisman watch lists, it's all offensive players. It is what it is. It's kind of a joke. Let me know what you think in the comment section down below. And now with all that being said, we can get into my favorite part of this video. I'm going to make my picks for Saturday. Well, also Oregon and Utah plays tonight, but who cares? That game is irrelevant. I guess if I had to pick one team, I'd go with Utah because they did beat them last time. We're going to start with the 11 a.m. game. We got Baylor and Oklahoma State. This is going to be a sneaky good game. Oklahoma State, they're hot coming off of the big win, but Baylor also beat Oklahoma as well. I really want to go with the upset. I really do. Everybody's counting Baylor out, picking Oklahoma State to win. The more I thought about it, I had to come back down to earth. I got to rock with Oklahoma State. I think they're going to get this win. Baylor's defense is okay, but I'm not so sure about their offense. It has been wishy-washy at times this year. As much as I wanted to pick Baylor, I'm going to go with my gut. I got Oklahoma State. After that game, we got the fan favorites, the Cincinnati Bearcats. They're going up against a solid Houston team who's 11-1. Everybody's waiting for Cincinnati to have a letdown game. However, I do not predict that's going to happen. I believe Cincinnati is going to be hyped up for this game, and they're going to come out on fire and beat them by 2 scores. Cincinnati has a blessing and a curse. They play to their competition. If they play a good team, team, they're going to play good. But if they play a bad team, they're going to play down to them. Their playoff chances are on the line. I think they're going to be excited for it. I'm predicting them to win. While that game's going on, nobody's going to be watching it because we're all going to be watching Alabama and Georgia in the matchup of maybe the century. Georgia is a 6.5 point favorite over Alabama the last time Alabama was an underdog in 2015 against, ironically, Georgia, and they pounded them. It's a tough one, especially for me as an Alabama fan. I'm not confident whatsoever in us, and I believe Georgia is the best team in the country. I believe Georgia is way better, and yes, I think they are way better than Alabama. If you watched yesterday's video, I said there's 4 people I never count out and I can't bet against. One of those being Nick Saban. You cannot count Nick Saban out, and I can't bet against him. For those reasons, I'm picking Alabama to pull off this upset. Am I confident in my prediction? No, not at all. There's something about it. I tried convincing myself I was going to pick Georgia. It did something to my gut. Me thinking about picking against Nick Saban, it doesn't sit right with me. I'm not even picking Alabama for Bryce Young and the players, I'm picking them for the coach. If Alabama can get 1 to 2 stops here and there and jump out on top, it's going to scare Georgia. They haven't played behind all season. One thing's for sure, I am not scared of Stetson Bennett whatsoever, so if he has to throw the ball, I'm okay with that. The only thing I'm scared about is Alabama's offensive line versus Georgia's defense. They're going to bull rush us to death. Bryce Young may get sacked 10 times. I'm still in shock as to how he pulled off what he did against Auburn. I'm hoping he can pull out something like that again and we can get the W. Moving on to our last and final game, we got Michigan and Iowa. Michigan is an 11-point favorite. Everyone's picking them to win. Iowa, I don't know why they're ranked 13th. I don't even think they're a top 20 team. Iowa is your classic Big Ten team. They're going to beat the teams they're supposed to, but in big games, they don't show up. Michigan's coming off of a great win. They got a lot of things rolling in their favor. I think they're going to roll over Iowa. They may beat them by 21 or more. Iowa's not that good. They don't have a good quarterback. Michigan's defense, they're going to have a field day. I'm predicting Michigan not only to win, but win handily. The other game I missed, the ACC Championship, who in the heck cares? It doesn't matter whatsoever to the playoff race. Pittsburgh and Wake Forest. Not going to lie, probably watch one of their games all year. If I had to pick one, I don't know. Give me Pittsburgh because of Kenny Pickett. Those are my predictions for tomorrow, and let me tell you, I'm excited. Can't wait to see it. Let me know your thoughts on all this down below. Who you think is going to win the games? But with all that being said, it's going to wrap up this video. Hope you guys enjoyed. Hope you guys learned something. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button and leave a like for more. And as always, let's be great. I'm out. Peace.